Hello again, Michael Ware with the Iowa Firearms Coalition. We're continuing with our series of Second Amendment litmus test questions and answers from our 2026 Iowa gubernatorial candidates. And we have with us today Congressman Randy Feenstra. Thank you so much for coming on. Hello.
It's great to be on with you today. Thanks for having me on.
Glad to. Let's get right to it. I'm going to... Well, I've got the, I'll just go through the questions. You know them anyway. When we get to the part where we turn you loose to visit, I'm going to share your website so everybody gets a chance to see that too. Okay.
Sounds great.
So have talked about this with all the gubernatorial candidates. The Second Amendment truly is the litmus test that I think most people should try and understand on the depth and the character and the predispositions of a candidate. So we've come up with these 4 questions, which are 4 pieces of legislation also that we want to put forward in Iowa. So I'll get right to the first question. And that is history. And this is the context. History has shown that making a rule or posting a sign declaring in place a no gun zone, such as a school, does nothing to protect the people gathered there. In fact, there is irrefutable evidence that some of the worst mass murderers specifically chose those sites to avoid armed resistance. Federal law and some states' laws allow a person with a valid permit to carry a firearm in schools and on school property. So the question is this: will you support changing Iowa code to support a permit to carry being sufficient for any school?
I'll just say this: Iowa code must be changed. I support allowing all Iowa gun owners to carry their firearms. I mean, I've co-sponsored legislation in Congress to make sure concealed carry permit issued in any state should be applicable for all 50 states. You know, I want to keep our kids safe. We can do that, but we keep our kids safe by those that are carrying in schools. I think it's so important, and we got to get this done.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Second question. You answered well, by the way. Thank you. Second question. When an employer bans the possession of a firearm or ammunition in a private vehicle on employer property, employees must face a choice between risking dismissal or ignoring the rule or being disarmed from the time they leave the home until they return, no matter how long their commute or how many places they need to visit. IFC believes that the proper place to draw the line between the rights of employers and the rights, including the expectation of privacy and right to be armed in self-defense, is at the locked door of a private vehicle. The laws of at least 26 other states agree. The question is, will you support legislation to protect Iowans from the de facto firearm ban on private and public employer parking lots?
Yeah, this is very, very important. I mean, again, it goes to privacy, and it goes to, if you can carry, you should be able to store your vehicle, store your gun in your vehicle. I mean, this is common sense. I mean, yes, I believe that Iowa should join the 26 other states in protecting gun owners, and that we should allow them to be securely stored in a vehicle while at work. Again, this is a no-brainer. It must be done again.
Thank you. Third question. Since 1934, federal law has tightly regulated but does not prohibit the private ownership of machine guns, suppressors, short barrel rifles, shotguns, destructive devices, blah, blah, blah. Since 2016 and 17, Iowa has allowed for private ownership and use of suppressors, then short barrel rifles and shotguns. The repeal of the state's earlier prohibition was not resulted in any apparent problems. Iowa is one of only 14 states that ban the private possession of machine guns, even when in full compliance with federal law. Nationwide, crime committed with lawfully possessed machine guns has been almost non-existent. IFC believes Iowa's ban on offensive weapons is redundant and unnecessary. The question is, will you support removing 724.1 and related statutes from Iowa Code?
Again, great question. We must remove 724.1 and related statutes of the code. I mean, I think each gun owner has a right to decide what their gun can and can't do. I think the Second Amendment right in our Constitution says that, and we should oppose, right? We should oppose any effort to infringe upon our constitutional rights. So yes, I'm very supportive of removing 724.1 or other areas in that code that relate to this issue.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, fourth and final question, and then we'll hand it over to you. The Iowa Firearms Coalition advocates for the creation of a specialty Gadsden flag license plate in Iowa, symbolizing the Second Amendment rights and the opposition to government overreach. The plate is intended to be a voluntary funding mechanism for the Second Amendment educational programs through an additional fee. Despite passing the Iowa House with bipartisan support 2 years consecutively, the measure failed in the Senate, prompting IFC to urge Iowans to contact their legislators in support of the plate. which they see as a reflection of the people, especially following the passage of the state's Freedom Amendment. I know you remember that. The historical "Don't Tread on Me" motto of the Gadsden flag is highlighted as a powerful statement against government intrusion. The question is this: will you support the Gadsden Plate legislation that directs voluntary funding for 2A education, safety, and training?
Yeah, well, I just think this is a fantastic idea. I mean, I'm passionate about getting our youth involved in shooting and hunting, and here is a great opportunity. I mean, we can support Gadsden Plate. I mean, here we get dollars from selling license plates. I mean, our Second Amendment rights should be protected, and voluntary funding, the Second Amendment education and training. This is a big deal. This is where we can really do something very positive. And I will say this: my administration will teach the next generation of hunters to do it safely and responsibly, and especially as the kids grow, you know, how to have gun ownership and be responsible. So yes, this is very important, and I look forward to getting something like this passed.
Fantastic. Thank you. Those are perfect answers to the questions. Appreciate that very much. Now, I'm going to share your website onto the stage here so people can see that. Congressman Feenstra, the floor is yours. If there's anything else that you'd like to have us know, Second Amendment related, pet projects, whatever it is you need in order to convey over who you are for those who may not know, please go ahead and let us.
Absolutely. I will just say this: I am a true constitutional conservative. I believe and defend our Second Amendment rights. These are God-given rights. These are in our Constitution. And if you look at my history, I have opposed evasive background checks, blanket bans on guns. I have been absolutely opposed to limits on ammunition purchases. I just think of my record in Congress. I co-sponsored legislation to authorize constitutional carry nationwide. I introduced legislation to protect tenants and renters from having their Second Amendment rights revoked by landlords. I mean, this is, to me, as big as the storage in parking lots. I think that tenants and renters should not have the ability to revoke our gun rights. And in the Iowa Senate, I just want to note, I voted for Iowa Stand Your Ground law. I co-sponsored the state constitutional carry. I stopped the implementation of red flag laws in Iowa. And I want to tell everybody this, that I will always protect the Second Amendment rights in Iowa and for Iowans, and give them reciprocity to carry in other states. I just think this is so important. I think that we working together can get a lot of these things done. So I'm excited to lead this state and protect our Second Amendment rights. And I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Appreciate that very much. Now, so everybody understands, you may not know how to spell Congressman Feenstra's last name. I'm sure you've heard it, seen it by now, but just for clarity, Feenstra for governor.com. That's Feenstra for governor.com. You can go there. You can get plugged in. You can stay up to the moment with what's going on, see where he's going to be speaking when, follow him on social media, donate, volunteer your time for campaigns. We encourage people to do this. I mean, we've got some fantastic folks to choose among for a gubernatorial candidate to run in the Republican Party. Congressman Feenstra, we haven't heard boo from anybody else. I've asked Democrat candidates if they'd like to come on, and I don't remember if there was an independent or libertarian candidate that showed some interest or not, but we haven't heard from anybody else. So we want people to go and get involved and support and help people. So again, Feenstra4governor.com. I'm sorry.
We want to know where people stand. Absolutely. We want to know where people stand. So I'm glad you're doing this. Very, very thankful.
Is there anything else we need to know before we let you go, sir?
No, absolutely. You can go to Feenstra4governor.com and you can learn more about me. So thanks again for doing this. I think it's so important, and keep pressing those that don't want to do it.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. Again, Randy Feenstra, Congressman Randy Feenstra, and that's Feenstra4governor.com. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.